I would hope that I taught how to tell a good story concisely and dramatically, and that I was good enough at drawing and very good at lighting, and I drew good cars. I fell in love with comic books when I was very, very young. I told my mother when I was, I believe, 7 years old that I was going to be drawing comic books for the rest of my life. So comic books were really my first love. As time progressed, I did them first as an amateur and then eventually as a professional. And at the time of my life, of course, there's always an itch to get involved in film. Who wouldn't want to be involved in the most powerful storytelling medium of our time? And when the opportunity came, I jumped at it. Finding my entire career, the two that jumped to my mind, one was when I first got my hands on Batman and was allowed to do him the way I wanted him to, and discovered that people actually wanted to see it. For me, that was a real breakthrough, because to completely cut loose and do exactly what I wanted to do and then have people respond as positively as they did was a tremendous affirmation and a feeling that I really could go places in this job. The other one I would name would be when I launched my Sin City series. It was the first time I ever wrote, drew, and created out of whole cloth an entire series. And for me, that was a terrific restart to my career. It was like being born again. What I was most insecure about was drawing, particularly drawing girls and drawing cars. My two nemesis. Those are the two hardest things in the world to draw. And that's really the reason why when I got to Sin City, I decided it would be absolutely full of girls and cars, because I'd have to solve these problems sooner or later. When I came with Sin City, I had just moved to Los Angeles. And you can't really draw Los Angeles without drawing cars, and lots of cars. Lots of vintage cars, lots of beautiful cars. The characters became defined by three things, really: their job, their guilty secret, and their car. And so I had to learn how to draw cars. And the only way to learn how to draw things is to have three-dimensional models. Having photographs is no good. A photograph only tells you something from one angle. You have to be able to turn it in your hand and see the light on it and get the actual shape. Joe Kubert might be the best artist to have worked in comic books. He's certainly in the upper echelon. He has it all. He can tell a story to beat the band. His draftsmanship was impeccable, and to look at his work is to learn from it. I was lucky enough to see him at work years and years ago and found every move he made to be an instruction. Very typical of Joe. He was generous with his talents and opened the first school of its kind in America. The Joe Kubert School of Comic Art is a perfect place for anybody to learn. I wish I'd gone there.